Hey everybody, it's Sid with Squeegeology, and I'm still at the huge convention, and with me right now is Josh Latimer. And Josh has done a lot of things. You've had a window cleaning business that you built and sold. Then you started Sin Gym. You probably do 5 or 6 other things I don't even know about. But he was also one of our keynote speakers, and some would say, you got to talk to Josh. He's one of the smartest guys in the room. You're very humble, so you might not say that. But
well, if my wife heard you say that, she might roll her eyes a little. So no,
yeah.
Like I said in the event, I have a bachelor's degree in pain and a master's degree in suffering. And I say that as a joke, but pain is an excellent teacher.
Yeah.
It is the best teacher. And as long as you don't quit whatever you're trying to accomplish, even if you're doing it wrong, if you keep going, you eventually figure things out. And so that's what I feel a large portion of my success should be attributed to, is just the relentlessness, the grit, keeping going, staying hungry and whatever. You know, people quit the band before they get the record deal.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get discouraged and walk away way too early.
Right. So this wasn't one. I have 3 questions I always ask. This isn't one of them. It's a different question. So when here's something that a lot of people face. When you start reaching a certain level of what people call success, you're like, okay, I've got my finances in order. We're making enough. For most people, it becomes easy to be less motivated. How do you keep the fire burning when you've reached a level of success where you're comfortable?
I think it comes with your definition of success, and you said a key word. You said when your finances are in order. I've never been money motivated,
right?
And so money is important. It's extremely important. We are required to be responsible with every dollar we are entrusted with, but that's not my destination. You know, I am motivated by accomplishment. And so for me, the hardest part is when the business does start working. I want to build something else. I want to keep going. So I think I'll be perpetually motivated by accomplishing things, by building things. And you know, my cleaning business was really a training wheels business in a lot of ways.
Right.
And I say that because what I've learned is applicable to so much. I'm only 34 years old still. I have a lot ahead of me, you know, God willing.
Yeah.
And you know, I got software going now, digital products, all these other things. I might do a service business again, I don't know. But the building process is what's incredible.
Yeah.
It's the building, the accomplishing, the winning with the team. It's definitely not my glory, it's not my show. Business is a team sport. My business partner, Chris, the key people on my team.
Yeah.
Like, when you win the football game, you high-five each other. So for me, the high-five when you have a $100,000 month or whatever, it's about the high-five.
Right.
And if that becomes normal to me and I'm not, and I get flat there, I would be totally dissatisfied. I wouldn't get comfortable like people would. I wouldn't be like, oh, I made it. I'd be like, I'm not getting enough high fives.
Right.
So I'd want to go to 200,000. I'd want to go to 3, or I'd start a new project so I could high five in a different way.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I need the high fives.
That's what. Tell me I'm doing good. So I'm trying to think of who it was. Perry Marshall says that you know, entrepreneurs are natural starters, but lousy finishers. So does that describe you to a degree? Yeah. Now, how do you get things finished?
I think maturity and just knowing that you have to. Yeah. But it was a struggle, especially in my early 20s, to do that. You know, the first 90% of a project takes the same amount of time as the last 10%. I think we might have talked about that with you the other day.
We didn't, but that, yes, it's true.
So the last 10% is the hardest, most painstaking part, but it's the most important. Right. Because it's the details, it's the granular, nuanced things, the little systems, the scripting, the way that you have the office and the payroll and the sales and all these things. When you're dialing them in and spit shining them, it's critical that you get it right so that you can really take your hands off it and it will work. You know, if you walk away at the 90%, you know, you got that wobbly tire and you're going down the expressway, it's going to fly off. Yeah. It might be okay for like 25 miles, I don't know, but it's coming off. Right. But taking it off, changing the rotor, doing the stupid thing, and you don't want to, you got to do it that way. Right. So grit, you know, maturity, pain and suffering, I don't like the last 10%, but I do it anyway. So do you end up doing that, or do you have you've assembled a team that's like, I'll get it rolling and you guys fill in the gaps? Because you've got a pretty solid team here. You know, the guys I met with Derek and Chris and the crew. To me, the team is good at polishing and optimizing systems after the fact, but the leader, the entrepreneur, has to establish what they are in the first place, and it's exhausting to do that stuff. Yeah. I mean, it is, and so I wear a lot of hats in my new business. You know, I do a lot of things that I really don't have to do. Even in my own podcast, I edit a lot of my episodes. episodes still, and I don't have to. I mean, I should ship it off, but I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I'm busy, and I didn't do it, just like any other business owner.
Right.
But it's a process, and I know that what the next step is, but whatever I need to do, I'll do. I'm not above doing anything.
Yeah.
So if I have to clean a toilet or clean a gutter, I'll do it.
Right.
But if you've done things correctly, that shouldn't happen at the end of your business.
Right. So you're living in Costa Rica now. Do you ever have to kill a spider? You don't have spiders down there, do you?
We have gigantic arachnid, like alien spiders that are the size of your face. And I am a complete pansy with spiders.
Right.
You know, snakes, I can go take a machete and just go snake hunting all day, but I'm ashamed to say my wife is a spider killer in our house.
Okay.
And we have tarantulas this big. I mean, running across the patio. It's crazy. And when you hit them, all their legs fly off. It's a disaster. But yeah, that's one of the downsides of being down there.
You need a shop vac attachment that's, like the arachnid
Heavy
buster.
duty. Oh, yeah.
Suck them up.
You can like hear it thud. I mean, they have weight to them.
Yeah. So back with your current business, you got Syngem, and you also have the growth vaults and the boot camp. So was there an intentional set when you were approached and you guys sold your business, did you already have the next step planned? Like, now when this is sold, I'm going to put all my focus on basically information marketing or the Syngem.
Well, Syngem is where it started.
Okay.
Because we originally built this app to send postcards for ourselves. And it wasn't a business at all. We took like 50 grand and we said, we need to build this thing. It's amazing. This is useful for us. We got into it and we said, you know what, this is its own thing. And we made a ton of mistakes. It was a disaster. We had to develop in India. Basically lit 50 grand on fire, really.
Yeah.
So then we threw more than double that the next time and did it again. And then did it again. And we've been iterating and learning. So that business, I still had my cleaning business when I started it. And we got going. After it was stable and we were monetizing it and we knew it was going to work, just a matter of how long it would take.
Right.
We went ahead and we sold the other company, and now we just focus on that. Now, the digital products and the growth vault and all that other stuff, that came out of, number one, my passion for talking about this stuff, having an outlet for myself, and number two, is a way to use content marketing to slowly push people towards our software.
Okay.
So rather than saying, hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, and people just, I don't
tune you right out,
people to do that to me.
Yeah.
So rather than doing that, we say, hey, here's a really cool idea for your business. And they say, oh, that's awesome, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And they're like, who are you? I'm like, I'm just the Syngem guy or whatever. So it's a long tail, long play way to build a tribe, a community, serve them, and then people always stumble through and find your stuff. And if it works for them, they're going to sign up.
Right on. So for anybody watching, how can they get in touch with you or follow, or where do they find you and your stuff?
You can find all of my stuff at automatejosh.com. That's like the umbrella. Because I got a podcast, I got the growth vault, I got my boot camp, I have the 7-day challenge. There's a bunch of stuff. Just go to automatejosh.com. You'll figure it all out from there.
Nice. Did your wife pick that name?
No, actually.
Or was that we hurry up, Josh?
No, it was just. There was so much confusion because before it was like, how do we get in touch with you? I'm like, well, you can go to Quick Talk Podcast, or you can go to the Growth Vault, or you can go to automategrowthsell.com. Why don't you check out Syngem.com?
Right.
Why don't you? And it's just a nightmare. So Automate Josh is just the placeholder to hold all those things without making people's heads explode.
Cool.
All
right.
Thanks. You, Sid. Awesome.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Again, it's good to meet you and hang out a little bit.